The T-34 tank, developed by the Soviet Union during the late 1930s, emerged as one of the most effective, innovative, and iconic tanks of World War II. Its design, production, and battlefield performance contributed significantly to the Soviet Union's ability to withstand and eventually repel the German invasion during the Great Patriotic War. This comprehensive overview delves into the development, technical specifications, battlefield roles, production challenges, and legacy of the T-34. Early tank development in the USSR. The development of the T-34 began against a backdrop of rapid industrialization and military modernization in the Soviet Union. In the 1930s, the Soviet military sought to replace their aging tank models with more modern designs capable of withstanding contemporary battlefield threats. The Soviet Union had already gained experience in tank design and production with models such as the BT series, which emphasized speed and mobility. The conceptualization of the T-34 was driven by the need for a tank that combined mobility, armor protection, and firepower. The shortcomings of the earlier BT tanks, which lacked sufficient armor and firepower to effectively combat contemporary threats, highlighted the need for a more balanced design. In 1937, the Red Army's main Directorate of Armored Forces issued specifications for a new medium tank. The aim was to create a vehicle with improved armor and a more powerful gun while maintaining the mobility of the BT series. This led to the development of the A-20 and A-32 prototypes, which eventually culminated in the T-34. The T-34's design incorporated several revolutionary features. Sloped armor. One of the most distinctive features of the T-34 was its sloped armor, which provided increased effective thickness and deflection capabilities. This design made the T-34 more resilient to enemy fire compared to tanks with vertical armor plates. Powerful armament. Initially, the T-34 was equipped with the 76.2 mm F-34 tank gun, which offered a significant improvement in firepower over earlier models. This gun allowed the T-34 to engage and destroy a wide range of enemy targets, including fortified positions and other tanks. Diesel engine. The T-34 was powered by a V2 diesel engine, which was more efficient and less prone to catching fire compared to gasoline engines used in many other tanks of the time. This choice of engine also extended the operational range of the T-34. Wide tracks. The T-34 featured wide tracks that provided better traction and mobility across varied terrains, including mud and snow. This feature was crucial for operations on the Eastern Front, where conditions could be extremely challenging. Robust suspension. The Christie suspension system, used in the T-34, allowed for greater speed and stability, enhancing the tank's mobility and overall performance. The T-34 was produced in massive numbers, with over 57,000 units built during the war. This production scale was achieved through the mobilization of Soviet industry, which prioritized tank production as a critical component of the war effort. One of the remarkable aspects of T-34 production was the relocation of factories from the western parts of the Soviet Union to the east, beyond the reach of advancing German forces. This relocation effort involved the dismantling, transport, and reassembly of entire industrial complexes, often under extremely harsh conditions. To facilitate mass production, the T-34's design was continuously simplified. Non-essential components were eliminated, and manufacturing processes were streamlined. This approach allowed for rapid production but sometimes resulted in quality control issues and variability in tank performance. The labor force involved in T-34 production faced grueling conditions. Many workers were conscripted civilians, including women and children, who worked long hours in hazardous environments. Despite these challenges, their dedication and resilience played a crucial role in sustaining tank production throughout the war. When Germany launched Operation Barbarossa in June 1941, the T-34 was still relatively new and not yet available in large numbers. However, its initial encounters with German forces revealed its superiority over most German tanks at the time, such as the Panzer III and Panzer IV. The T-34's sloped armor proved effective against German anti-tank weapons, and its 76.2 mm gun could penetrate the armor of German tanks. The T-34's performance on the battlefield had a profound impact on German tactics and strategy. German commanders quickly recognized the threat posed by the T-34 and adjusted their tactics accordingly. The Wehrmacht sought to counter the T-34 with improved anti-tank weapons, tactics, and eventually, more advanced tanks such as the Panther and Tiger. The T-34 played a crucial role in key battles such as Stalingrad and Kursk. During the Battle of Stalingrad, T-34s were instrumental in the Soviet counteroffensive, encircling and ultimately defeating the German Sixth Army. At the Battle of Kursk, the largest tank battle in history, the T-34 faced off against the German Panther and Tiger tanks. Despite being outgunned and outmatched in some aspects, the sheer numbers and tactical deployment of T-34s contributed to the Soviet victory. The T-34's design allowed for continuous upgrades and modifications. As the war progressed, the T-34-85 variant was introduced, featuring an 85 mm gun that provided greater firepower and the ability to engage heavier German tanks. This adaptability ensured that the T-34 remained a formidable force throughout the war. The introduction of German Panther and Tiger tanks posed a significant challenge to the T-34. These tanks featured superior armor and firepower, which initially outclassed the T-34. However, the T-34 maintained several advantages, including superior mobility, reliability, and production numbers. A critical factor in the T-34's success was the Soviet emphasis on mass production and simplicity. In contrast, German tanks like the Tiger and Panther were complex and time-consuming to produce, resulting in limited numbers on the battlefield. The T-34's ability to be produced in vast quantities allowed the Soviet Union to maintain numerical superiority, which was a decisive factor in many battles. The T-34's design and performance had a lasting influence on post-war tank development. Its emphasis on a balanced combination of mobility, armor, and firepower became a standard approach in modern tank design. Many post-war tanks, including those developed by the Soviet Union and other countries, drew inspiration from the T-34's design principles. The T-34 became a symbol of Soviet resilience and ingenuity. Its production under dire circumstances and its critical role in key victories contributed to its iconic status. The T-34 is often celebrated in Soviet and Russian history as a testament to the determination and resourcefulness of the Soviet people during World War II. Many T-34 tanks have been preserved as historical artifacts and are displayed in museums and memorials worldwide. These tanks serve as reminders of the sacrifices made during the war and the technological achievements of the time. The T-34 tank stands as a testament to Soviet engineering and the resilience of the Soviet people during World War II. Its innovative design, adaptability, and mass production were key factors in the Soviet Union's ability to withstand and eventually repel the German invasion. The T-34's impact on the battlefield, coupled with its influence on post-war tank design, ensures its place as one of the most significant armored fighting vehicles in military history. Through its legacy, the T-34 continues to be celebrated as a symbol of strength, innovation, and victory.